Wait, what's Lunar Con? You must tell me. Alrighty. We'll watch the JoCat video to find out. Okay. Okay. Damn, what the fuck? Let me put the volume up a little bit. You'll see?
Lunar Con!
That might be a little too loud.
Lunar Con!
Lunar Con.
Lunar Con!
What's Lunar Con?
It's a free player-run in-game convention in Final Fantasy XIV, and it's happening really soon! It takes place on the Crystal Data Center, so you better start your DC travel.
That's us! So I'm kind of annoyed that I'm only learning about LunarCon now. I don't have anywhere near the time to make a character over on Crystal. That's us!
Now,
Crystal Gang!
Boy, oh boy, it's gonna be packed when it happens.
What the fuck is LunarCon?
LunarCon? Performances, panels, interviews, contests, art parties, roleplay venues, hangouts, raid stuff, special guests, Turtle Smithy, Sly the Fox, Denmo McStrong Huge, Nipple, Rin Karagani, Cheesa,
cool.
Stall, Todd Howard giving away
what is happening?
copies of Oblivion, Pint, some people from Nest, DJ who knows how many other things. I don't. Seriously, I meant to get this video out like 2 weeks ago so that I'd promote the event a little bit earlier so that there'd be more time for people to prepare, but like time got away from me. I'm so sorry. July 29th to the 31st.
Wait, that's in 5 days.
LunarCon.net for all the info.
LunarCon.net. 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 Oh, it's legit. It's legit. Okay, check that after.
Everyone always says you should be a team player, but honestly, I've always felt like the best way to help the team is by crushing whatever obstacle that's in the way with my heavily toned squat receipts. So that's it.
If they're dead, they can't kill you, and that is the best form of healing.
No more playing for anybody else. I play for me, baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
It's no longer my fault. I only exist to make big numbers fly towards the screen and watch my skill bar light up like a Christmas tree at a rave party. And you bet your precious patoot the progress preventers will be promptly pounded because this potent projector of pain will be peddling those beasties until your pack is paved with enough resulting pellets that every peddler will pray to be pampered by a more palatable pacifist.
Wow, I'm so glad there's a screen between us.
Final Fantasy.
It's been a while since we heard that.
Being a DPS is like being the king of capitalism, because the way you play, taking care of others, is for bitches. Pay no attention to anybody else's well-being unless it directly affects you, and so long as you're alive and safe, you can act like anything bad that happens around you is probably not your fault. All that brain power instead will be put towards what really matters, your complicated as shit damage rotation. That's right, step aside tanks 1, 2, 3 and healers 2 damage buttons. These are where the big guys and gals play. Or at least that's what they like to tell themselves, since one of the only party utilities they have to worry about is pressing the faint button once in a blue moon. Their hotbar will more often have dozens of buttons, all dedicated to big damage. The melee DPS is the most important person in the party, as you are the one on the front lines inspecting the bad guys.
Hang on, we gotta read that.
The melee.
Wanna watch me get evolved for a second about time? Wanna watch me do it again? Featuring Dante from Devil May Cry. Was it completely ripped off? LB's boss 3 expansions late. You get a clap closer. You get a... Okay.
DPS is the most important person in the party, as you are the one on the front lines inspecting the bad guy's anus like it's where all the Hrothgar hats are hiding, while avoiding the enemy's sprays of hot, poisonous gamer stink. Not only are you going to be up in their grill, turning their cheeks into a ripe tomato while flip-flopping in and out of danger like you're a politician making pancakes, you're also going to make like an adult film star and learn positionals. Certain attacks in your damage rotation will require you to land them in specific areas around the enemy target, specifically the rear and the flank, in order to deal additional damage. How do you tell where those positions are? By the massive disembodied titty underneath the target. See this nipple? That's the front where the tank will be sucking on the sweet milkies that are tank busters, which obviously means this conspicuous ticulus on the opposite end is the rear. What about the flank? That'll be on either side of the enemy. And if you're ever confused as to where each area begins and ends, a useful tip on how to tell is imagine there's a big X dividing each of the quadrants. Or you can just press true north and pretend positionals don't exist like it's an embarrassing memory of that time you did the Gangnam Style at school, unironically. The only time it isn't the case is when the enemy has a full ring without an opening, in which case you won't have to worry about any of that guff and you can just sit there like an off-tank who's actually having fun. Otherwise, between hopping back and forth in these two spots and running around catching up to the boss whenever the tank feels like doing cardio, your little wall's legs are gonna get so much working out that they'll be thick as the teats of a whale made of molasses. Which is to say, expect to move a lot. But what if I'm not in the right place for a position or the boss is far away?
Who knows?
Just remember the old adage, always be casting!
Oh,
Even if you're not able to
yeah.
land your positionals or if
Your
the boss is too far away
ABCs.
to make a melee attack, be sure to always be pressing your buttons no matter what. Unless you're a monk who has no ranged attack and you have to sit there thinking about how your
Really?
job will inevitably be reworked yet again in the next patch. However, there is another secret epic gamer option that allows you to maximize the DPS you output at the risk of yourself as well as potentially everybody else.
okay,
But
what
it's
is it?
usually the healers. This technique is called greed. The funny thing about AoE markers in Final Fantasy XIV is that they only ever mark you for damage if you are standing in them the moment they go away. This means that if you're fast on your fingers, you can stand there DPSing the bad guy while soaking in their radioactive orange juice until the very last second where you backflip out just as the dropkick of doom skims your fuzzy anime hairs and you don't lose a second of uptime. As I said, however, this is a high risk. If your timing is off and you spend just a millisecond too long, you'll be covered in cheese puffs. You might even
Cheese
die,
puffs?
or in some cases you'll have to suffer a fate worse than having to read the entire 24-hour chat log of Limsa. Damage down. Shh, it's okay. Nobody's gonna take away your big damage numbers. Papa's here to make sure you don't greed too hard if you're not ready, okay?
I don't like that.
As the melee DPS, you also have first dibs on limit break against most bosses since yours deals the most damage. Specifically when they're
Ooh,
single.
really?
This is because when you hit the limit break button, you're not actually attacking them. Just showing them pictures of a happy, healthy relationship, and nothing hurts more than emotional damage. Just ask Urianger. But what are the individual
what the
jobs,
fuck?
whom of which meleeeth said up-close slappers to thine adversaries? There are 5, and each one is a different flavor of anime and edge. Monk, for those of you who want to go fast, having one of the shortest global cooldowns in the game means you'll
really?
be dealing out punches like you're a pissed-off caterer at a middle school sock hop.
It's a
Instead of the
monk is a
traditional
fast
combos,
class?
each attack puts you in a specific stance. Bird, cat, and monkey. Each one combos
Monkey.
into another attack that benefits from each respective stance. Your rotation will be all about swapping stances around more than a kid trying sick moves to impress their crush at a middle school sock hop. You also have perfect balance, which allows you to go freestyle and pick whichever stance you're feeling more at the moment without having to do any of the normal stance setup. If you repeat the same stance 3 times during your freestyle, you get a purple token on your stylish moves punch card. And if you do
This is
3 different
complicated.
stances during the freestyle, you get a white one. Do a freestyle with 3 unique moves one more time while you have both a purple and white tokens on your punch card, and you get to turn it in to make your crush dripping wet with damage because for some reason you get to kick them in the face.
That
The only
looks
problem is
sick.
you
What
are
the
only
fuck?
melee without a ranged attack to keep your uptime. And although you do have a dash that lets you zip around like Goku on a triple shot ristretto down blend macchiato, if ever you find yourself without a target to punch during
Oh, that
combat, you
looks
can call
good.
timeout on your buffs so they stop moving while you have a little cry because your crush rejected you at the middle school sock hop. Dragoon is probably the most straightforward of the melee classes and the one most likely to have a tragic backstory. You've got a 5-button combo that swaps between hard slaps and sakura flowers and a handful of buffs that will turn anybody else in the party
Sakura
into your partner
flowers?
in dragon slaying. What kind of dragon slaying? That's up for you to decide, which you'll have
I
plenty
don't
of
like
time
that.
to do while you're suspended 20 moms in the
I
air
don't like
dropping
that,
in like
you
a scantily
weirdos.
clad human
Hey,
airstrike
man.
who's got a date with Nidhogg at 5 and a party at the quicksand at 6. Yes, the Matanga in the room. Dragoon has several damage-dealing jumps necessary to unlocking special attacks in their
Matanga.
rotation that will lock you into an animation, which means you're stuck and unable to move out of your location while the boss is just about ready to piss all over the floor right before you land. So be wary when using your jumps, lest you fling yourself right into a danger puddle and
I like that,
perpetuate the
boss.
tired singular joke the 14
Damn.
community has for the class. On the bright side, though, you do get the objectively best job mentor in the form of Ninja is great for people who enjoy American football, because for every 10 seconds of excitement, there's a minute of fuck all. Your rotation is all about fitting every goddamn cooldown you can into a small window of time where you make the enemy take more damage. And on top
this
of
is
that,
me.
you also have the ability to live out every weeb's dream and do a
I'm
bunch
so
of hand
cool.
gestures to cast magic attacks and also drop down into
I mean,
a
I
low
do feel
position
really
and
cool
run
when
with
I
your
do
arms
it.
flopping behind you in the breeze, which Final Fantasy objectively proves makes you go faster. You got
True.
3 hand symbols, and depending on what order you do, you will make a different kind of anime reference.
Ice
For
Age
example,
Hamtaro.
going Tenjin Chichijin unlocks the secret dark ending of Korya in the house and causes the enemy to be susceptible to bonus damage. But maybe you're facing a
Koro
mob
in
of
the
enemies who are
house.
immune to A-rank powered life forms, so you'll instead have to go Tenjin Jin Chijin Chijin Tenchijin Tenchi for 3 seasons of
Oh my
Sonic
God.
Underground, which will kick sand into their eyes with how fast you'll be running circles around the slowpokes. More or less, you'll have to do some studying up on what combos do what, but here's a secret cheat sheet. Only the final mudra in the sequence matters.
What?
It's the skill floor police. Cheese it! Samurai, the job most likely to
Really?
have a dick measuring contest with a black mage. I'd be careful though, their dad works at Square Enix. This weeb is the most selfish of the melees as it provides no utility for the rest of the party and instead acts
best
like the average
one.
soccer player, focusing on being the star of the show who gets all the attention, especially when it drops to the
Wow,
floor
what the
clutching
fuck?
its knee when somebody sneezes on them. Your attacks contribute to a kink bar, which allows you to shame the enemy in a variety of ways, as your katana is also a substitute for a horny bat. So you remember how the monk has a punch card? Well, so do you, except yours is your sword and the punches are stickers. You have 3 basic combos, each one giving you a slight buff.
Yoshi P,
slapping
let's
sticker onto your
go.
katana. And depending on how many stickers you have, you will get one of 3 different rewards when you turn in your sticker sheet. With 1 sticker, you'll apply a dot that'll last longer than it takes to clean your room. Don't lie to me, I know a majority of my audience has depression. 2 stickers will charge up an AoE around you. And
That's
3
true.
stickers will make...
Oh. Does he draw this himself? This is awesome. Yeah, he does his own art. That's pretty sick.
Each sticker attack also gives you an additional separate sticker, and once you have 3 of those,
He's just
you get to do an
flexing there.
additional. And finally, the Reaper, the transfer student from Garlemald who got the rest to mauled at the fact that they think they're better than the rest of the melees. Which I mean,
It
they are,
does
but don't
look
let any
really
Reaper hear
cool.
you say that. It'll go to their heads. Being the darkest and edgiest of melees means that your job gauge is the Dark Souls HUD. Similar to the Samurai, you build up a bar that can be spent on big slaps. And those big slaps give you edgy boy points that can be spent on
Edgy
additional
boy
big slaps.
points.
Except this time, they're coral blue number 57 gloss lipstick. Once you've kissed enough boys to build up your fashion bar, you get to turn into a spooky ghost. You do the slice. You do the spooky slice. The spooky slice.
The spooky
Now
slice.
your swings have some spice.
Dance
You do
chat.
the slice. It's just your soul that's the price. You do the slice. You do the spooky slice. And now you know how to play
That's
melee.
so
You're
good.
welcome. From the northern snow front of Ilsabad,
Do the
the land
slice.
was cold and the people scarred. They sought the void
This is so
with
good.
a daring act and empowered themselves with the deviant pact. You do the slice. You do the spooky slice. The spooky slice.
That's my favorite part of the video.
You do the slice. It's just your soul that's the price. You do the
It's
slice.
just your soul, that's the
You do the
price.
spooky slice.
No, that's good. That's really good. That's so good. I think this might be my favorite one yet. That is so funny. Alrighty then.